What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Our last full week and weekend at Beach Street. Our last YouTube at Beach Street. Let's chat about it. So, it's going to be a different video. I'm not talking about a set subject, so to speak. In all honesty, I'm just in one of those kind of moods. I've got things to do. I wanted to get here nice and early. You can see it's nice and chilled right now. Have a cigar and just chat about things with you guys. I've not done a video with one of these before, so I thought, why not? This is the perfect opportunity. I've always been able to do one down here, but obviously don't promote it because YouTube don't like this stuff, and I'm not going to earn any money from this. But there you go. It's not what it's always about. And yeah, I just wanted to do a bit of a video about my whole experience of being down here and what's going on and decisions being made to do this. Because, you know, firstly, I want to say, to get it out there nice and quickly with this, is I have thoroughly enjoyed my time down here. Excuse me, you're going to have a lot of this because I don't want to let mine go out. I don't want to be lighting my cigar all entire video. But yeah, you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed it down here. Like with everything in life, it has ups and downs and things you don't always like, but you work through it and you learn and you progress and you build on it. But yeah, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had two of the best suntans I've ever had in my life. I've met some fantastic people, both shop owners, businesses, customers, the whole thing. Networking that we've done. We've been invited onto podcasts and radio through being down here. We've been invited to events. I've got to learn a lot. I've been running businesses for the vast majority of my working life of different sizes, and been self-employed. And you know, the one thing I've never done is have a shop. So that's taught me a lot. I'm thankful because without this experience, without how it's helped to grow the business and the brand, I wouldn't be going to the other shop. There is no negative reasons for me to be leaving anywhere. And I know no one's asking, but I just want to get this out there because people like to gossip and people like to assume and everything else. But it's just pure and simple that I need more space. Well, I say that, yeah, I definitely need more space. One of the biggest things is I can make a lot of the stuff in the shop here, but not everything. So it does it into my home life. The Beard Manners is our only real source of income. Yes, we get monetized on most of the media platforms, but that's anyone that does that is pittance, it's peanuts. It's just a little bit of a help. It's like if you're on that path anyway, why not make the most out of it and make a little bit of extra money? But if I gave up Beard Manners, it would barely cover a bill. But yeah, so our sole real source of income is Beard Manners. So when you're often working in a shop where you can't make things, and then you're having to go home and spend hours making stuff and catching up, it eats into your family time. It takes time away from your partner, your children, and everything else, and your social life. So we need bigger for that purpose because we can make bigger stock, we can make bigger batches. And I'm not talking about going huge. At the moment, we make batches depending on the product between 10 to 20. As our growth has come on, I'm going to probably be looking at doing batches between 20 to 30, or 20 to, probably 20 to 40 for most cases, because the best sellers would sell a batch in a couple of days. I don't, in the foreseeable future, want us to get to a stage where we make a batch of the modern gent beard balm or beard butter and there's enough there to last us for a year, because of what the products are and because they're all natural. They don't have things like alcohol and methanol, which are garbage for your beard, garbage for your skin, but give the products longevity of life. We want to keep the stuff fresh. So I want to be making regularly, but we do need to be making bigger now, because what's happening is I'm spending literally sort of like 10 to 12 hours a week in the evenings at home doing other things. So in the new shop, firstly, what we've got is a bigger premises. What we've also got is a kitchen, a nice big full-size kitchen. So we're going to have nice stainless steel worktops in there. We're going to make everything in-house, absolutely everything. It'll be clean, it'll be super hygienic, none of this making anything at home or on back burners. We can do it all in our work time. Once I get home, I can dedicate my stuff to media, my family, my wife, which is going to get better work life for me, better products for you, better commitment to everything, and just me being happier and people getting the best out of me. Again, get used to this. I'm enjoying this too much. The other thing you get from this as well, and another part of the reason I wanted to go as well, is I need a new challenge. I said this in other videos. If I get too comfortable, if life becomes too much of a comfort, not life, but if my work life becomes too much of a comfort zone, I feel like I need to throw myself under a bus and do something else. So everything's been a bit last minute. It's all been a bit tight. Things have been up and down here. I love it here, but it can be quite seasonal. Like, I think the last 4 Sundays in a row have been torrential rain all day. That massively affects us financially. And hopefully it won't go going forward, because I know these guys have a lot of things that you should still come down here. It's a little bit of rain. We live in the UK. If you're not going to leave your house because it rains, then you're never going to leave your house. So that's not a reason I'm going, but it's just made it a bit more difficult. Got my camera like that. So it's made things difficult, but it's given me a challenge. Everything about the shop, deciding how I want to decorate it, what I want to put in there. I'm toying with doing coffee from there, and I don't want people to think I'm going to be a coffee house. I can't imagine me being in a stage of life where I'm going to be serving you a frappuccino latte with sprinkles on top and extra froth. I think it's going to be more a case of, I drink a lot of coffee, just extra long to long coffee. If you like your proper coffees, you're going to know what that is. It's going to be simple terms. It's a proper coffee. It's just a normal coffee. It's just the different sizes of it. Hopefully some different infusions, some stuff with local brands around the area is what I'd like to be doing, with the inclusion of maybe some whiskey infused type stuff. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah, it's just something. It's an itch that needed scratching. I've wanted my own shop for a while. I think where it is very well situated for us. We can join in with the football. I want to get involved with the local town. I'd like to think that even in just a tiny dose, I can help be a part of what makes Ipswich good again. And yes, I appreciate not all of you have beards, and the beard shop isn't going to improve the town. But just being there, I think Ipswich could do with some of us new blood business owners. No offense to those that aren't. It needs you as well. It needs that medium ground of people that have been there for a while and knows exactly what it is. It could do with people that are a bit more confident with the media content and things like that to help get things out there. People like me are going to be quite big on networking. I can't wait to, once I've got myself down there in St Peter's Street, to be walking around, knocking on doors, introducing myself, seeing if we can work together. I might look at doing podcasts in there. I want to create as cool as I can of a backdrop for doing the videos. Go back to what it used to be at the start with me with my office, which again is, I've loved the videos here and the lighting's good. It's been great in the shop, but I've got bigger space now to do different things. I can get a whiskey shelf in the shop now. We've got that beautiful fireplace that most of you have seen. It's a Victorian building, so you can imagine the videos we can be getting in there as well. You've got the pub next door, Applaud Coffee House up the road. Puzzle, who is my current neighbour here, is my neighbour there. It's all independent shops. You're a stone's throw from town. There's direct parking outside with our time slots. I believe after 6 you can park for longer. You've got the pound display car park literally 200 to 300 yards away. So there's loads of reasons to come down. And one of the biggest reasons as well, I keep finding reasons. Christ, this is me all over. If you've watched more than one of my videos, you know what I'm like by now. But yeah, this is another big reason into me wanting to do the whole process, is because I underestimated the social aspect of the shop. Because I never had one before, I wondered if it would just be people who just come in, buy their products and go, like you do in most shops. Now, I'm like that in most shops. About the only shop in the world I'm not like that is, or the only two really, is a whiskey shop, a cigar, humidor shop, and probably a tattoo studio as well. But I like to hang about in those places, so I like the vibe. But I've noticed our shop gives that. Not for everyone. Some people do just know what they want. They come, they take it, they go, and that's completely cool. But yeah, I've underestimated how people like to just hang out, chill out, spend half an hour in there, whether it's chatting to me, chatting to other customers, Tasha's going everywhere, or just taking their time at the sample bar, where they can really, because you know what this is like. If you've got a beard, you've bought beard products, a lot of them are bang on accurate as to whatever the description says. A lot of them are not so close to the description. They come through the door and it doesn't smell like anything like you thought it would. So we've got the sample bar in the shop. We're going to continue that process in a new one, hopefully have multiple sample bars. And this is what my vision is. My vision is for this. And I flitter and change, as you're seeing in this video. And it's why I'm not buying stuff to kick the shop out now. I'm going to move what's in this shop into the new one, give it a couple of weeks, see how it feels, see what the vibe is, and then look at what I'm going to do with decor and everything else. But at this moment in time, I like the idea of it being a place where you can come in on your own, with a partner, with a friend, grab one of our bar tables, sniff some samples, try what you want to try. While you're there, have a coffee, hopefully a nice quality coffee, the sort of thing you're not just going to get anywhere. And it can be an overall experience. We can chat beers, we can chat whiskies, cigars, we can chat whatever you want to chat about. It can just be a safe hangout for bearded men, bearded women, bearded children, and just beard lovers in general. You know, that's what I'm wanting it to be. And like I say, you've got the pub next door and stuff as well. So, you know, there's so much to do. But yeah, so as you can tell, I'm mixed emotions with the whole thing, because obviously I've loved my time here, and it has got comfortable. I know the drill. I'd like to think I've gotten well with the owners. Um, I've made good friends with everyone down here. You know what the setup is. Summer's round the corner. I wanted to move, and this is one of the reasons I've moved quickly, because I know I've spent 2 summers here already. If it got to June, July, and I've got my luminous pink vest out that you all love, and my skin tight shorts, and you're getting the suntan down here, it's a harder decision to make. Um, so yeah, it's all on good terms. Everything's been on really good terms. The guys have been really accommodating with me. Um, when I spoke to them about leaving, they were good. You know, I want to keep good relationships with them because they do lots of markets and setups down here. I'd like to still potentially in the future be able to do stuff down here because I think it's a good place. You know, I wouldn't be saying that, I wouldn't be suggesting that I wanted to do that if I didn't like it down here. So I want to keep that good rapport going up, and they've been equally good with me as well. They've been very understanding. I handed my notice in, didn't realise it's over bank holiday weekend. The owners, in particular Johnny, straight away was like, "Look, just move out the next week. It's fine. We're real cool with that. You can be open if you want to." So it's little things like that. It's a real cool place. And I think, you know, I don't want people to think that coming here is a good place for just a startup. It is a brilliant place to come for a startup. It's just a brilliant place to come. Perhaps if I was a bit bigger and had been going a bit longer, I might have looked at keeping the shop here. But this is the other thing. We missed our 3rd birthday. We missed the Beard Manor's birthday, March the 6th, I believe it was. So we've only just turned 3 years old. And my main concentration at the moment is more products, doing things like that. We've got, I believe we've got the most amount of scents, or the largest amount of scents of any brand within the UK. We want to be going into more body line of things soon. I'm not going to say what that is, but we've got lots of things we want to be doing going forward. So that's my main concentration. And I know from the past with other businesses, the minute I get into a situation where I've got multiple premises and I've got staff, your attention wavers, especially when you're new. That takes a lot of your focus, training, making sure people are doing things, earning each other's trust and things like that. So for now, it needs to be me. I know my wife is begging for me to get staff involved so I can do less weekends, and I want to do that as well. But long term, that's good. That will be something we do long term. But for now, it needs to be just me, so it can have my best and it can have my visions, and I can be doing what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it at my own pace. So yeah, so much going on. You know, I've talked about what I've loved about here. You've got your live DJs down here at the weekends. This place is a vibe. But the new shop, you know, perhaps it's, I mean this in a complimentary way to both. Perhaps it's that more mature move for me. Um, Whereas the footfall here is very much families, less men than anything, less bearded men than anything. But again, it's done well. I looked at my figures. I've done my overall figures to this, but it's done far better than I thought it would. But I think the footfall where I'm going is going to work better for me. It's a major road for footfall, for football when it's on, for Ipswich when they're at home. You can get straight through to town. A lot of people use it for a walk through for work. I think it's going to get a lot of traffic, a lot of ripple effect. And again, it's that challenge for me. It's like about trying something else now, giving something else a go in that space for me to have to grow and do other things. Perhaps one thing I would say for me, which is a negative here, but it's not a negative for here because it's the right thing to do because it's so close knit. Is I'm kind of been stuck to what I want to do. I wouldn't even dream of doing coffee down here because you've got Shaw who don't do fantastic coffee. The Waffle Shack do coffee. There's already people that do it. So you're just treading on each other's toes if you're doing things like that. I looked at doing things with alcohol licenses, which is something I might do in the new shop. But it's the same thing. Down here, you're treading on toes of people that you're friends with, and it's not okay. I wouldn't feel right if Hopsters there start selling beard care products. That's not, do you know what I mean? So, you know, like I say, rightfully it strickens you, but I think in town it's a bit more different. You know, it's a bit more cutthroat. You've got to do what you've got to do. Business is yours, is your own, and it's competitive. And the hungry dog has to eat, and the big dog has to bark and get its food. I don't even know what the hell I'm waffling on about there, guys. There is a saying around there about dogs that bark and eat and everything else. Clearly wasn't what I bloody said, but there's something there. So yeah, like I say, this is more you just joining me for a garden than anything else. You know, I'm literally just waffling on. But I thought this was a good video to do. I've had all my videos where I've jotted down what I want to say, how I want to say it, what we want to get across, what's good for your beards, what's good for this. And I suppose the one thing I'll finish off with this one is this is maybe the most important message I'm going to give on this video in particular, and maybe since I've been down here. The decision for me to move here was a scary one, because I need to edit the EastEnders cliffhanger every time I do that, don't I? I need to keep leaving cliffhangers, and every time I take a drag, I'll stop it and just leave you. But yeah, it was a huge decision to make, because for one, I'd never had a shop before. The financial commitment into a business that back then was literally a year and a half old. We were just a year and a half old. It also was always going to mean the end of our other business. A lot of you remember we had another business that was doing quite well, that was pretty much providing for things and allowing us to do this, or allowing me to do this. But, I'm a big believer that if you're going to go for something personal, mental, whatever it is, you've got to try and give it your all, because if you don't give it your all and it doesn't work, you're going to look back and think, I could have given it more. So you have to give it your all. So my decision was made that if I was going to do this, it was going to be the end of the other business. So there were so many risks involved with this, huge decisions to be made. And even now as well, because I've got that comfort zone, and I'm now looking at getting myself out of that comfort zone. Why do that? Things are working, the money's coming in, the business is growing. Why do these things? But the message I'm trying to give with this one is to not be afraid to go for things. I see a lot of videos of business owners saying how easy it is. I'm not talking just business. You can't listen to that, because there's a lot of business owners out there that are going to tell you how easy it is when they've inherited a business, or one's been handed down to them, or a partner's walked away. You've got the businesses that started small but don't tell you how they got government help schemes. They were given advice left, right and centre by other business owners because they got accepted for a scheme. They got financial aid. They got a bank account set up for them. They got an accountant handed to them. Now there's nothing wrong with that. If you can do those things, do those things. They're smart things to do. Don't get that confused. They are smart things to do, particularly if you haven't done business and you don't know what you're doing. But it reminds me of that comment I always make about how it's really easy for a celebrity to sit on their dock next to their yacht that's moored up on their mansion with their 12 cars, telling you how to be positive and how to just sit back and enjoy life. It's the same thing. So my message is going to be more about, rather than just, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, it's just try and get the confidence to go for things. Research it. Try to find out what your fight is going to be. I mentioned in, I think it was either my last video or the one before, about how I don't back down, I'm not weak, and I stand up for any fight. What I also try to do is research for the fight. Know the person, know the issue, know the subject that you're fighting, know about it, know its weaknesses, know its strengths. If you were a boxer, you wouldn't just step into a ring. It's why when these boxers that take last minute fights because someone's pulled out, no matter how good they are, they've got a disadvantage because they've not prepped. They've not prepped for that person. They've been training, they've done everything else, but they've not prepped for the person they're fighting and their styles. So you need to prepare for every battle that you can. Try to look at what you're going to need, what it's going to take. Speak to other people that are in your circle that own businesses, if the business route is what you want to go for. If it's fitness, look at what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to bulk muscle? Are you trying to do both? And again, reach out to people. Follow people that do these things. Don't just follow the people. You want to follow the people that are already there, because they're going to help. If you're like me, I don't get jealous of people at all. I look at people that are doing well or have the lifestyle that I'd like, and I use that for encouragement and drive. I sit there and think, I've got to do what they done to get that. So now I want to find out what they done. So you want to watch, say for example, you are wanting to start a fitness journey. Follow the person who's at the stage you want to be at. Follow the people that are trying to get there. Follow the people that are just getting started into it. If you want to start a business, follow Dragon's Den. Watch Dragon's Den. Follow some small businesses. Follow some micro businesses. Join some business pages on network sites. Research it. Google it. One bit of advice I will give as well is, when you're Googling and researching things, whether it's fitness journeys, personal journeys, physical journeys, business journeys, whatever it is, make sure when you Google stuff you're checking the dates. There's nothing worse than searching how to start my own business or how to get 16-inch biceps, and then you're reading a tabloid on Google which was printed in 2016. Less so with the muscular side, but certainly with the business side of things, things change. I mean, I was lucky or unfortunate enough, whatever way you look at, to start a business back in the day where there was no internet. I mean, I'm talking before dial-up tones. And back then it was putting ads in Yellow Pages and parish magazines, handing leaflets out, knocking on doors, speaking to people, walking into business establishments and premises and getting yourself known. Nowadays, all you've got to do is have a device and Wi-Fi or 3G, and you're on your way. You can hit some of the biggest networking platforms in the world just from taking something out of your pocket. You can advertise, you can market, you can hashtag. So it's a very different process. And that's not me. You could argue, I've had this debate, is it easier now than it was back then? I'd say it was easier. It's easier now because of the amount of accessibility you have to things that can help a business to grow. From that point of view, it's definitely easier now. But from someone who's been doing this for a long time, not just 5 minutes, and is now telling you how to do it, what was easier back then is you had less competition because not everyone could do it. And, you know, it's also, if you're of an age of me where you're at that in-between stage where once upon a time I was listening to LPs, now it's suddenly it's downloaded music, but I'm of a generation where I've been able to adapt to the change. Perhaps people who are a little bit older will struggle with the competitors. I've seen this with a lot of businesses. I saw this with removals a lot. A lot of the old dogs, the old boys that were fantastic, everyone else has looked up to them, they started to fall behind because they weren't prepared to change, they couldn't adapt, they were too long in the tooth, they were too stubborn, and they were missing the ship that was sailing. So, you know, this is why it's always important to keep up to date with everything you're going to do. But yeah, don't even know what this video was about. It was just me chatting, something really different. Like it, don't like it. This was more about me probably getting my personal feelings out. I suppose what this one is, and this could be a good title for this. This one's almost a Beard Manner's diary entry. My last full weekend of what has been a very enjoyable, yet at times difficult journey. I've learnt a lot. I've grown a lot. I've enjoyed it. I've made friends. Probably made enemies knowing me. I'm too couldn't give a fuck. Don't look back in that direction. If you made enemies, just let them get on with it. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my family. I've learned a lot about business. I've learned a lot about some of my friends, people going forward, people I'm pulling away from. You know, so I've got a lot to be thankful for. Most of all, what I'm thankful for is that it's given me the backbone to go and do what I think is going to be the biggest move of my career, my life, my working life, everything. Might not seem it to some, but you know, in my opinion, how it feels to me. And it's also been an easier decision than most. I remember with removals buying that first bigger vehicle, then buying multiple vehicles, then buying new vehicles, then bringing in staff. With just taking on the shop, I found them probably more difficult decisions. As in, they just weren't easy to make. This one is probably the biggest risk I've ever taken, but I don't feel nervous or scared about it. And I think that's because of who I am now. I think my attitude is that if things aren't working out, if things aren't going right, then what I need to do is adapt and change. And I'm not scared of that because I've put myself through enough in life with those fights and with those battles, personal, mentally, physically, business, everything is, you know, I'm at a good stage in my life to be taking this one on. So excuse my beard, guys. I can notice I'm desperate for a chit. I'm not even going to show you my hair right now. I've not done my beard. I've not done my hair because I've got the new shop opening. I want things to be. I want to look a bit better for that. And you know, it's like with a beard. If I cut it 3-4 weeks beforehand, I'll be doing it again. I'm a lazy fucker, so I don't want to be doing it every 5 minutes. Just, well, I've got a beard. I grew a beard out of laziness. You wouldn't think so, the effort I put into it now. But yeah, so you know, yeah, I need to get a bit of a tidy up on those little straggly ends, and then my beard will be back to its big old mane thickness best. Get my hair sorted out because I'm starting to look like a frizzy old tennis ball under there right now. Think I'm walking around the house without my cap on, looking like Mr. Midlife Crisis going on. I want to have hair. Can I have hair? Should I have hair? Maybe I should grow my hair. That could be an interesting video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Those who have, thank you for joining every part of this journey. I hope you've enjoyed this waffling video. I think for most of you it's probably going to be the most enjoyable thing is watching me smoke a cigar because I haven't done that in one of these before. Hopefully that's something I can do more going forward. We'll see. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Give it a like, give it a share, subscribe, do whatever you can. I've said this in a few videos, guys. Like I keep on saying, just keep in touch. You know, I'm not struggling, things are good, but this is when people need the support the most. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm going to enjoy this last weekend. Fingers crossed it doesn't rain. Fingers crossed we have a good weekend. For those of you that come to Beach Street and buy from Beard Manners, come and do it now. If I am here next weekend, it's going to be limited stock. I'll be in and out. I'll be moving. I'll be doing stuff. So, you know, this weekend, as far as I'm concerned, we're open. All the decor is still up. Pictures are still on walls. Nothing's boxed up yet. I'm going to give myself, you guys, and Beach Street this last full dedicated weekend. I'll be professional as always. I'm still here right now. Starting Monday is when everything's going to start coming apart. So if you are looking at coming throughout next week, the chances are the shop's going to be bare. I'll have limited stock. So same with online as well. You do need to bear this in mind, guys. I am a one-man band. We know that Beard Manners is insanely quick with their shippings. Royal Mail, if you're watching this, you need to buck it up because you're not always as quick as me. So sort it out because that's your business. There's plenty of other delivery companies out there. You listen in. But yeah, with deliveries as well, please bear in mind I have got a lot to do going forward next week. Get those online orders in. Get yourself prepared. See what you need. Get it in now because I will be shipping things as quick as I can. But it's not like I'm going to open the door to this new shop and I'm going to have everything set up, all my products where they need to be, all my boxes where they need to be. So just bear that in mind. For the next sort of week, I would have thought, I will do my utmost to get things done in a good, timely fashion. But please bear that in mind. It might be best to get your orders in. If you're running, go and check your stuff now. If you're running low on oil, balm, butter, wash, everything else, get the order in. Get yourself covered. Be safe. Don't worry about it. Because the other thing is, I'm not going to have time to get back to loads of people that are checking where their order was. Because I need to get computers and Wi-Fi's and everything up. Anyway, guys, strange video. Probably not what people are expecting. Probably won't be the most viewed one I've ever done. Definitely won't be a monetized one. But I wanted to get it out there. I'm going to go and enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Then I'm going to do some work. Enjoy my last weekend at Beach Street. Thank you, Beach Street, for Andy Orton moment. Thank you, Beach Street. It's been emotional. Never goodbye. Take it easy, guys. Stay bearded.